Hi friends, welcome to my channel and welcome back. I'm Jeannie and today I'm bringing you some holiday nail ideas using the gorgeous Oopsie Dip Powders from CN Designer Dips. I'll be swatching them and then show you how to create an easy Christmas manicure that's perfect for this season. If you're looking for festive nail inspiration that's beginner friendly and totally doable at home, you're in the right place. So grab your dips, get cozy, and let's jump into these holiday nails. If you're not familiar with the Oopsie Dips, they're usually released around this time of year and they come in either 6 packs or 12 packs. And usually the 12 packs, they come in different types of packs, meaning there's no duplicate. So for 2025, there's 3 separate packs, A, B, and C. I'll be honest, I did buy one of each, but this one was gifted me as an ambassador for CN Designer Dips. This is a little 6 pack, which is a grab bag. And honestly, these are my favorite dips. I love the surprise. I love how unique these are. A lot of these Oopsie Dips are highly sought after because these mixes are like discontinued pigments, colors, glitters, or they're missed mixes, which it wasn't what they wanted. So once they're mixed, you can't get them again. So that what makes them like so unique, but I absolutely love it. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the swatching, and I will also leave chapters in case you want to skip the swatching and jump straight into the mani. However, these colors are absolutely beautiful, and if you do watch this, let me know down below in the comments which color is your favorite, because honestly, I can't decide. So I will be swatching on these stiletto swatch sticks that I get off of Amazon using my CN Designer Dips Dip base, and I'm using my Chaos Emeralds by Chaos Concept to catch that excess powder. I am just going to swatch each color all at the same time, do the first layer and then do the second layer. Normally I do one color at a time, so I'm not normally this messy when I do swatching. You'll see like I'll get some stray flaky and glitter pieces into my solid. That's not typical for me, but I didn't want this video to be too long, so I decided to just do it all at once. So if you don't like the stray glitters and things like that, if you cringe, just know that sorry, that's not typical. So here are all my oopsies all swatched out. As you can see from this first swatch stick, this is a changer, so it's a UV changer. So it's white, but under UV light, it turns to that gray. As far as I can tell, the other dips are not changers, so I did do some testing. So we've got one in this oopsie pack. And as far as the mani, I was determined to do a multicolor mani just using the colors in this pack. So I chose these 3 colors, and I am really happy with the way it turned out. I wasn't sure at first, but I think it all worked out. And so that's kind of like the gamble you take when you get an oopsie pack of, will they go together? I think for this one, I got really lucky. So I'm starting with this solid green color. It's like a dark hunter, maybe forest green. I don't know how to describe it, but it's a really great deep green that I think is perfect for holiday manis. So this is going to go on my ring finger only. And honestly, lately, I've been not capping my solids in clear and just doing a third dip. And I've been really enjoying that. So maybe I'm converted and I stopped capping my solid dip powders in clear. So I'm going to go ahead and do 3 layers of this. And it's not really for opacity because you can see in the first layer, it's pretty much fully opaque. So normally I will do 2, but instead of capping in clear, I'm just going to do 3 layers of it because it's a thinner dip powder anyway. Like I don't have bulkiness with the 3 layers of dip. So that's what I'm going to do for my ring finger. And then we'll do like a little water slide decal on it just to make it pop a little bit more. A little bit of that darker pigment did transfer onto my dip base brush, so I just did a quick wipe on my paper towel to remove some of that excess pigment. It didn't impact the rest of my colors, and I'm happy to say even though it is a darker color, it didn't stain my skin either. I mention this all the time, but the reason why I'm pouring over my dip powder is to try to avoid making a giant mess because these jars are so full. So as you can see, they're filled to the brim. I haven't weighed any jars, but I'd venture to guess these are probably way over a quarter ounce like they're labeled. See, and Designer Dips is just so generous with their dip powders, and I really appreciate that. It just makes it harder to dip in. I can't dip directly into the jars. But the added benefit of that is if you do have a darker color that does stain, it helps reduce the staining to be able to pour over. It's not going to eliminate any staining, but it does reduce it a bit to pour over rather than dipping your finger into the jar. I know you do see a little bit of green residue on my skin. However, with just like a hand wash or just a swipe of some isopropyl alcohol and a lint-free wipe, it wipes away very easily. So it's not staining at all. So I'm just going to finish up my 3rd layer. As I mentioned before, I'm going to do this instead of capping in clear. So once I'm done with my 3rd layer, I'm just going to go ahead and activate the color. And the reason why I'm going to activate it is because I'm working with glitter and flakies next, and I don't want to contaminate the solid nail with some glitters and flakies, and those won't stick to an activated nail. So I'm just going to let the activator dry, which takes like, I don't know, 30 seconds. It's really quick. And then I'll move on to my next color. So my next color is going to be this dark brown. It has like the most beautiful like gold shimmer in it. I'm not sure if it's a shimmer or a really fine glitter, but either way, it's really beautiful. So that's going to go on my middle finger and my pinky. And I'm also going to do some nail art on my middle finger as well. I know I sculpted a little gingerbread man a couple manis ago, but I thought this brown would be really perfect for like a gingerbread house type design. I'm not going to attempt to draw a gingerbread house because that would be pretty lofty. But you know how like gingerbread houses have like the white frosting dripping? I thought that would be really fun to do against this dark brown, and I absolutely love the way it turned out. And it's so easy to do that even like if you're new to doing nail art, I think even you could do this. I'm going to do 2 layers of this brown, and then for my remaining fingers, I'm going to do 2 layers of the pink with the flakies, and then off camera, I'm going to cap my nails in clear, activate, and file and buff. And then when I come back, we're going to do some really simple but really festive nail art, and it's going to be a little bit of everything. We're going to do some hand painting with some gel liners. We're going to do some water slide decals as well as some stickers, but it's all going to be really easy but look super cute. Here's how my mani's looking after a quick file and buff, and I'm really pleased with the way these colors are pairing together. But of course, we're going to get into some nail art. So I went ahead and placed some of my liner gels on this palette to use. The white one is from the CN Designer Dips Black Tie Liner Gel collection. I like to use liner gels because they're more pigmented, a little bit thicker, so they're easier to use for nail art. So I'm starting with a dotting tool, and this is going to be like my icing drip. So I've dipped it into the white. I'm going to draw a few dots on my nail at staggered lengths. I don't want them all to be even. And then once I've got those dots on, I don't want to overcrowd my nails, so only a few dots. I'm going to take from the dot and drag my brush up towards my cuticle area, just drawing a line. Most times I have enough gel in that dot to be able to drag it up towards my cuticle area, but I can add a little additional gel to my liner brush as needed, like I did for that one dot. And then once I have those lines up towards my cuticle area, I'm now going to outline the arch of my cuticle area. So I'm being really careful because I don't want to get any gel on my skin. But you can see here, I'm kind of filling it in. I want it a little bit thicker, so I don't want just a thin line. And then I'm going to make sure that those lines that I drew from the dots are actually connecting to that little arch at the cuticle area that I'm doing. And hopefully this is kind of making sense to you. Hopefully you're seeing my vision of what I mean by like that icing drip from a gingerbread house. So once I've got that cuticle area line, you don't want just like a straight line coming from from that arch. So you want it to kind of pool and then start dripping. So where the line is meeting that cuticle area arch, I'm kind of drawing like a V where that line meets. So it looks like it's dripping from that arch, pooling, and then it drips down into that drip to where you have those dots. And it looks a little more realistic when you do have like those different lengths, which is why I say stagger your dots. And it's very important when you do this that you have thin layers so that cures all the way through. So I fully cured that for 60 seconds. And now I'm taking a little bit of that red and a dotting tool, and I'm drawing like little dots just to decorate that icing a bit. And I don't want it too overcrowded. And then I'm taking a little bit of that green, which I took a brighter green and mixed a little bit of black to deepen it. And I'm just drawing like little bars. So they're going to be like kind of like sprinkles. So it kind of looks like there is like red and green sprinkles along this icing dripping to make it a little bit more fun. And then once I've got those on, I'm going to fully cure for 60 seconds as well. I really love the look of pink peppermint, so that's what we're going to do to my thumb. However, I am going to take the help of nail art stickers so I don't have to draw the pinwheels myself. So this sticker sheet is from We Love Glitter Designs. Nail stickers apply best to clean, dry nails, so make sure that your nails are completely clean and dry. So I'm going to kind of place the sticker on the middle of my nail, and then once I'm happy with that placement, I'm going to go ahead and rub and press it down so that it's laying flush against my nail, so that it's sticking properly. So you can see it's really easy to do. And this actually fit my thumb perfectly. So once I've got that on my nail, I'm going to do a little glitter embellishment. So this is gel liner L6 from the Black Tie collection from CN Designer Dips. So in the center of that pinwheel, I'm going to draw a little bit of a dot to kind of center that and make it glittery. And then between each of those white pinwheels, I'm going to just draw like a line to follow that curve in between, just so I can have that pop of glitter. So I'm going to do that in between each of those white pinwheel lines, and then I'll fully cure this for 60 seconds. Gel liners are a bit thicker, more opaque, so that's why it's important for gel liners that you cure for 60 seconds. I mean, I've gotten to the habit of curing all my gels, even like regular gel polish colors, for 60 seconds, but I know a lot of the brands say 30 seconds, but I still do 60 just to be safe. Now, the last thing I'm going to do is these water slide decals. These are from XND Products, I think is the name. I'll leave it linked down below in the description, as well as my discount code. So in order for the water slide decals to stick to my nail, I'm going to apply a layer of gel base first, because the water slide decals aren't going to really stick well to a dry nail, as opposed to like a nail art sticker where it needs to be clean dry. So I'm applying my gel base to my entire nail, making sure it's smooth and even. I cured that for a full 60 seconds. And now for the water slide decals, you want to cut as close to the decal as possible. So I'm just cutting out that gold foil Christmas tree first, and then I'll worry about cutting off the excess. It doesn't have to be exact because that will never happen with these designs, but as close to the design as possible so you have like as, less excess of that paper. So once you've cut out that design, you're going to drop it in some water and let it soak for about 10 to 15 seconds. It's not long at all. So I'm leaving this in so you can see just how quick it goes. And I actually use like a jelly stamper to apply the decal. So I've got that ready. So I'm letting it sit. And then once I think it's ready, I'm going to fish out the decal with my tweezers. I'm going to dab off the excess water from the decal with my paper towel and then pick up the decal with my stamper. And then I'm going to very carefully slide off the backing of that paper. So you can see that white is just a backing, and that's what the water does, is loosen that up. And then I shouldn't have used this stamper because I couldn't really see where the design was. So I'm trying to figure out where to place it, because the benefit of using a stamper is figuring out where you're placing it. So this was way off center. So I'm going ahead carefully peeling it up because I didn't want to rip the decal, and I'm going to center it to my nail. And that's the really great thing about these decals, is they're really thin, but they're not so delicate where I ripped them when I did that, which I'm very thankful for. So now that I've got all that nail art done, the last thing we need to do is gel base and gel top coat. So the reason I'm using gel base first is because your dip powder is smooth. So if you applied just your gel top coat first without a gel base first, it would peel off because it needs something to adhere to. So gel base first, cure for a full 60 seconds, and then I will go in with my gel top coat. And as always, no mani is complete without rehydrating my cuticle. So I've got my Scales of a Mermaid Cuticle Balm. This is one of her latest released scents, Put Those Pinkies Up. And I really love this one because it's some citrusy with some berry, but it's also got like a soft musk to it. So it's a very light and easy scent that I feel like could be worn year round. And of course, I do also have an affiliate code with Scales of a Mermaid. So you can use code Genie10 to save 10% off your orders. With the weather getting so cold, I love using the balms because they're extra hydrating. And when I'm feeling extra dry, sometimes I'll pair my cuticle oil with my balm. So that pretty much wraps up today's mani. And I wasn't sure how it would turn out because these are oopsie colors, so they're not like specific colors that I ordered. But I have to say, I am so happy with the way this turned out. So if you're still here, drop me like a candy cane emoji down below in the comments or something similar to that. So I hope this video was helpful and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, I'd appreciate it if you gave this video a thumbs up. It lets me know to continue creating content like this, and it also helps YouTube recommend me to others, which helps grow my channel. There's also that hype feature that you may see if you wouldn't mind hyping it if you found this helpful. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing. I upload content every Monday and Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.